Hey everybody, Tired Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully everyone's doing well. So, winter outlooks come out recently, but due to all the severe weather that we were dealing with and the other forms of weather that we've been trying to keep covered here, it's kind of got away from me a little bit. So we're a couple of days behind, but it's not too bad. Not much has really changed with the outlook, so we're just gonna go ahead and dive right into it. Be sure to hit that like button, decimate that subscribe button, obliterate that share button, because this is going to be pretty telling as to what we could expect throughout the course of the winter. Keep in mind that this is looking at a 3-month average. It's over 90 days, so there's room for this to change, room for this to be pretty much blown out of the water, busted wide open, whatever you want to really call it at this point. But regardless of that, here's a look at our seasonal temperature average. This is what we could be dealing with throughout the course of the winter for the most part. Northwest looks warmer than average. For the most part, this is typical of an El Nino setup. We've talked about this a couple times on the channel here. Usually it'll be a little bit warmer to the north and maybe cooler to the south. Right now we're kind of mainly dealing with equal chances still. There's no surprises. I do anticipate another update coming, so we'll see what happens with this. But from this last update that I've seen here on the 16th, the near normal temperatures are pretty much predominant across a large part of the middle of the country, especially towards the southern plains here. Also, increased warm temperature potential is likely across the northeast and even across Alaska here. But really, it's going to depend on some of our oscillations and much more to really determine just what kind of cold blast we get and the jet stream for our storm pattern. So, still a lot of unknowns here. But this is what we're likely to see over the course predominantly, I would say. When we look at the precipitation outlook, this is definitely the tell that this is an El Nino type year, because typically with El Nino setups we also have that jet stream, the subtropical jet forming it along the south really nicely, and with this will increase the chance of wet weather here. Depending on timing of any sort of cold shot, some of these areas, not all of them, but there's a handful of these areas that could even see snow, areas that we may not be used to seeing. Like I said, it's no guarantee, but it's definitely something worth keeping an eye on here as well. Also noting that the parts of northern Alaska here also have an above average chance of precipitation here, and then over towards southern Alaska, below average chances. Not really a surprise given the jet stream that is very typical of El Nino. If you want more info on that, link to the El Nino video I did on my Weather Nerd 101 playlist will be in the top right corner. But this is pretty much what we're dealing with right now. Keep in mind, like I said, it's a 90-day forecast and things are prone to changing. So also something to make note of here, like I've been talking about a little bit on previous videos, and I will be doing the same on this one, is El Nino. El Nino is very important when it comes to our weather setups, especially during the winter time. We could end up seeing a lot more cold blast or a warmer than average winter for all parts of the country, really, and really the entire planet. This is one of the biggest weather influencers out there. A lot of people just don't realize how big. But fact of the matter is, we've been already slated to have a strong El Nino. We are currently in a strong El Nino right now, but this is what we could expect as we go forward here. This is what we want to look for is the months of December, January, February, which is right here. Circle that for you. But right here, crappy circle, December, January, February. A strong El Nino is at 1.5 degrees Celsius. And for the most part, almost half, maybe more than half, are above this 1.5 degree threshold here. Might actually have my line off just a little bit. But for the most part, we're still going to be expecting a strong El Nino persistent throughout the winter here. And there's even a few of these that actually indicate a strong El Nino, which would be at 2 degrees. And this would play a huge part in more anomalies occurring if we end up getting a stronger to historic El Nino. So, this, like I said, there's plenty of room for things to kind of go haywire here. As far as this winter is concerned, we could still see plenty of snow towards the northeast, the Rocky Mountains, the Sierras, and much more. Atmospheric rivers are still possible. Severe weather is still possible even. So don't let your guard down just because you're seeing an outlook like this one and you're like, it's supposedly more warm over towards my region during El Nino. That may not mean as much as you think. So the best thing to do is keep your eyes open here. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what our temperature anomalies are looking like right now throughout a 3-month period here. And for the most part, and like I said, keep in mind, I'm not going to put much merit into this still because this is looking through a course of 90 days. For the most part, like I said, warm, definitely more so towards the northern plains, northern parts of the Midwest. No real surprises there. What is surprising is that there's not really much in the way of a temperature anomaly for cold air. So, like I said, a little skeptical of that. I do think that there's going to be a couple of pockets over here, maybe towards the south, where we could be dealing with cooler than average temperatures at times. But remember, this is over a 3-month period. We can actually kind of shorten this up and maybe go to a month-by-month basis here, if possible. We'll try to see if we can get that going here. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and look at December 1st. Not surprising to see that for the most part, a lot of that warm, just like all we saw in the 3-month average, is mainly going to be further up to the north. Even so, this doesn't necessarily mean we won't see cooler temperatures or cold temperatures here. It's just going to be slightly warmer than average. If we go to the following month, that does push a little bit further to the south here. Like I said, it's interesting to see that we aren't seeing much in the way of cooler than average temperatures. It does lead me to have some concern if we get a warm enough air mass for maybe some severe weather potential, but each El Nino year is unique in and of itself. So with that in mind, we just really have to wait and see what the jet stream and other factors end up concocting together, so to speak, because it's never really just one thing with weather. That if you've been around long enough, if you've been into weather for long enough, you just kind of know. But again, it's pretty consistent look here across the middle of the country here for warm air. Do see cold air trying to sneak into the equation here towards the eastern half of the U.S. But as of right now, though, as far as oscillations are concerned, I think that's going to be a big fact. That's going to be a that's the only way that we'll really be able to tell what happens in the near term here. But this is mainly what I'm seeing here with this winter outlook is we're probably going to be seeing warmer than average temperatures. Almost seems like a dominant positive PNA setup is possible, where it's warm out to the west and cool to the east. But it could also just be predominantly warm in general. So it's going to be a little bit of a toss-up right now. I still wouldn't put a lot of confidence in this. I would say about maybe 30-40% right now. I'm more confident in the month of December than I am anything else, obviously, since it's closer. So we'll go back and take a quick look at that. I do think that maybe this area over here towards the Appalachians might be a little cooler than average. But again, this is based off a 30-day period, and we're actually looking to maybe start out the month cooler than average. So I'll be interested in to see how things unfold from this point. That's all I got for this video. It's a quick one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, found it useful. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button, decimate that subscribe button, and obliterate that share button. I'll see you guys later. It's been Tyler, Metalhead Weatherman. Until next time, have a good day.